astrology-informed yoga practice, you can maximize positive planetary influences, minimize negative planetary influences, and live as your highest self. Visit discoverastroyoga.com and join the Astro Yoga experience to get ongoing guidance on how to change your yoga practice based on astrology. Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to do a beginner vinyasa flow. This flow is inspired by spontaneity and being inspired to do new things. It's springtime, and spring is a representation of new beginnings. And so for a lot of us, we're going through lots of changes in our life. And as long as we keep a sense of wonder and curiosity, we can really make the best out of any situation. And so our flow today is really about embracing that change, embracing being spontaneous and curious. So to get started, we're gonna lay in child's pose. So in child's pose, I'm gonna extend both hands out in front of me. My knees are open wide and my big toes are touching each other. Set your gaze at your toes and then begin to connect to your breath. Breathing in for a count of 4 and then exhaling for a full count of 4. Take a few more breaths. Then begin to press yourself up gently. From here, we're going to stay on our knees. I normally like to bring my knees in a little bit. And we'll find hero's pose here. Bringing both hands behind our feet and gently leaning back. And maybe this is a lot for you, and so maybe you just want to stay here. But if you're able, bring both hands behind your feet, bringing both elbows pointing behind you, so our elbows aren't pointing out here, but our elbows are pointing straight behind us. And then gently lean back. Maybe you rock from side to side. Take one big deep inhale breath here. Exhale it all out. On our next inhale, release your hands. Bring them right in front of you. Tuck your toes and then find yourself in down dog. Check your down dog. Be sure you're comfortable, so adjust yourself as needed. Be sure you're pressing your hands into the mat and your whole hand is touching the mat. Set your gaze in between your big toes. Lift your right foot into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knee and maybe do a couple of circles. Open up your hips. Maybe you're rotating your ankle. Extend that leg back out and behind you, and then step up and find low lunge. So in my low lunge, I'm going to place my left knee onto my mat, and then I'm going to open lizard lunge, taking my right hand on the inside of my right leg, and then I have an option to stay here on my hands or come to my blocks on the forearms. If you're here on your hands, be sure that you're lifting up your chest up towards the sky. We're rotating our shoulders onto our back. And this is your practice, so you do exactly what you need. If you need to come to your forearms, even all the way on your mat. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the pose, you can do this. Or you can come onto your blocks. If you're on your forearms, you can come up onto your hands. Bring your right arm back on the outside of your right leg. Tuck your back toes. So my toes are being tucked right here. And then come up into a runner's lunge. From your runner's lunge, come into your crescent lunge by sweeping both arms overhead. Setting your gaze at one single point in front of you. Bringing your arms in line with your ears. Stand strong. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep both arms behind you. Setting your gaze at one single point. I'm looking maybe 2 feet in front of my mat. Notice your thigh firing up. Feel those muscles activate. Make sure your shoulders are rotated onto your back. Focus. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your hands down onto your mat. Move through a chaturanga vinyasa and we'll meet in down dog. Now that we're back in down dog, lift your left foot overhead, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, and then open your hips as much as you like. Maybe we're twisting our ankle, doing whatever we need. Extend that leg behind you and then step up, finding low lunge. Dropping your right knee onto your mat. Bring both hands on the inside of your left leg for lizard lunge. Remembering that you can come down to your forearms if you need to. Inhale together here. Exhale, bring your left arm on the outside of your foot. Tuck your toes and get into a runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, sweep both arms overhead, finding crescent lunge. And when we're in our crescent lunge, just double check that your hips are square in front of us. So it's easy sometimes to have our hips open like such. Just be sure that those hips are closed and pointing straight in front of us. Inhale together here. Exhale, sweep those arms behind us. Find arrow pose. Taking a gaze 2 to 3 feet in front of our mat. Keeping our arms nice and straight. Shoulders rolled onto our back. Remember your focus. I know your legs are heating up, just stay right here. Inhale together here. Exhale, drop your hands onto your mat. Move through your chaturanga vinyasa and we'll meet in down dog. From your down dog, look in between your hands. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, we're going to get into dancer's pose. Dancer is a balancing pose. And if you struggle with balancing poses, then know that the biggest tip that I can give you is to set your eyes on one single object. When we have the steadiness of looking at one single thing, we can find steadiness in the body. So it's a pose that can be challenging for people, but I encourage you to give it a try and have fun. Be curious about it, be spontaneous with it. If you fall, then that's okay. So to get started, we're gonna use our right leg first. So I'm gonna face this way so you can see me. I'm going to start by kicking my right leg up and then catching it in my hand. I'm holding my hand with my thumb facing my big toe. So my thumb is facing up towards my big toe here. I'm going to extend my left arm out and I'm going to use it as a counterbalance. And once I'm ready, I'm going to lean forward and then lift this foot up to the sky. And remember to set your gaze on that one single object will help you balance tremendously. Inhale here. Exhale, come back up slowly. Great job. I'm going to do it on my left side this time. And you're welcome to stay where you are. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me on my left side. Doing the same exact thing. I'm going to kick my left leg up into my hand. I'm going to check that my thumb is pointing up towards my toe. And once I'm there, I'm going to extend my right arm out and then hinge forward. Inhale here. Exhale, come on up slowly. Great job if you didn't fall, and great job if you did, wobbly or not. So I'm gonna face the front of my mat once again. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step down into plank pose. Hold plank here for a moment. Set your gaze in between your thumbs. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down to your belly. Once you're on your belly, come up onto your elbows for cobra. When we're here, be sure you slide your shoulder blades back onto your back, elongate your neck, and shine your heart towards the sky. Also be sure you're pressing your feet down into your mat. Inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way back down onto your mat. I'm going to move my hands down about in line with my nipples. And then I'm going to press up into up dog and then back down into down dog. From down dog, look in between your hands and then step up to a seat at the top of your mat. I'm going to lay down on my back for bridge pose. So I'm going to plant my feet onto my mat. Both of the soles of my feet are down. My knees are pointed up towards the sky. And I'm going to lay back. And I'm going to get ready for bridge. So I'm going to bring my feet in as close to my butt as is comfortable for me. And then once I'm ready, I'm going to press into the ground with those feet and lift my hips up towards the sky. I may even want to just clasp my hands under my back. That's just one thing that I like to do for preference. And lower your hips down. We're going to come up one more time. On your next inhale, rise up. Take a few breaths here. And lower. Bring both knees into your chest. Extend your arms out to a T and drop both of your knees down to the right. And then look over your left shoulder. Maybe you want to set your gaze at your left thumb. Inhale, bring both knees into your chest. Come back to center. Exhale, drop both knees over to your left. And then set your gaze over your right shoulder, looking at your right thumb. On your next inhale, bring your knees back into your chest. Hug them in and rock side to side. And in the energy of spontaneousness, I want to give you an opportunity to do whatever pose you want to right now. So maybe that's shoulder stand. Maybe it's whatever you want it to be. It could be crow pose. It could be snail pose. I think I'm going to go into shoulder stand. To get into shoulder stand, if you're going to do it with me, I'm going to release my hands from around my knees, but I'm going to keep my knees into my chest. I'm going to roll my hips up using my hands to support my butt and my lower back. I'm just going to straighten my legs up towards the sky, using my hands to support me, my lower butt, and my lower back. And once I'm in shoulder stand, look up at your toes. Do not look from side to side, but look up at your toes. Whenever you're ready to come down from shoulder stand, tuck your knees down first, bringing your knees all the way down, and then slowly rolling back onto your back. If you're coming from another pose, you're welcome to come back down now. And then join us in Shavasana, laying on our back, opening up our palms towards the sky. Just lay here. And I want you to take 3 big, deep inhale breaths. Allow your inhale to fill your lungs. Let your lungs expand wide from side to side. And once your lungs are full to capacity, then very slowly exhale everything out. Do that 2 more times, and then begin to breathe normally. Remember that change is healthy and necessary. And it takes courage and open-mindedness in order to really reap the benefits from whatever change is going on. If you enjoyed today's class, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're interested in learning how you can align your yoga practice with the current planetary positions and alignments, visit discoverastroyoga.com and join the Astro Yoga experience.